What's up, guys? Spider here. We got some Clash of Clans for you. We should be getting back to normal. Hopefully starting today, we'll have a video for you every single day. Who knows? Maybe even more. Maybe even more. Depends on what kind of appetite you guys have for these videos. Anyways, wanted to go over my final Town Hall 6 build with you guys. And I'm gonna later on in the video, I'm gonna go through just one little design concept with you and just give you my viewpoints, because I think it's important. I mean, every little bit helps, right? So I've been working on upgrading my outer walls. So I've segmented my town hall, and I've wrapped my defenses in and around there, and I try to keep everything in a tightly integrated. And there are a couple of arguments to say that you shouldn't, but there are some arguments to say that you should. So, for instance, if I take my army camp, I can bring it out to here, and you can see I still have a wider area of coverage, and that forces my enemy players, attacking players, to spawn their units farther away, thereby giving my defenses a little bit more time to be shooting at them, right? I mean, not necessarily the cannon, maybe the mortar, depending on where the unit's located. Let's take this for an example. You take the mortar and see how I have this wall here. So that wall is moved out there to force the spawn to be a little further out, just because I have an extra wall. And that's, I think Zurg, who's part of our clan, suggested that. Especially in that particular spot, because if they spawn further out, the mortar has the chance to fire at enemy units a couple of times before they get too close within sort of that red circle where the mortar can't fire, right? And it's going to take some time for them not only to travel, depends on what units they are, to travel past that wall and then go into attack my mine or my elixir collector. And at the all the while, my mortar is attacking them and just shooting after one after another. So, but the other argument is that if you have a tighter defense, then your defenses are going to overlap more. So I have a mortar here. I have my cannon here. I have my archers here. If yes, they can probably spawn in archers and take those locations out. But there's more of a chance, if I have it out here, there's more of a chance for them to bring archers in and take out that army camp when they're not getting hit, right? So that's why I like to keep things a little bit tighter, and I've got a lot more overlap on my defenses. So as units, enemy units or attacking units come in on the south, I have my wizard tower here. The cannon is going to be able to shoot at them, air defense. But then I also have, my other mortar is going to come into play as they breach my defenses, as is my clan castle and the mortar on the other side, etc. So it's just trying to keep a tighter focus on my defenses so that I'm shooting enemy attacking players multiple times with multiple units. Okay, so that's the theory behind that. Like I said, again, your preference may be to spread it out a little bit more, so you have fewer defenses firing on attacking players sooner. I prefer having more defenses attacking on them a little bit later. So I have been working on upgrading my outer walls. Like I said, my town hall is directly in the center. I've got it walled off, and I upgraded those walls to level 4, probably level 4, before I started upgrading these walls to level 6. So I have these almost all complete, and people were wondering, how do you get all these upgraded walls, and what are you doing? Are you gemming? And I'm like, no, I'm not gemming. What I do, I have my scheduled builds, right? So I have 3 army camps that are being worked on right now, and I'm upgrading my cannon, and yes, tonight I will have my first dragon. Yeah! I'm going to record that too. My first dragon. I want to get a dragon offense, and I want to get a defensive replay of somebody attacking my base and me popping out a dragon out of my clan castle. It's going to be epic. So that's what I'm working on. So tonight, what I have scheduled is one of my mines, to finish one of my mines, and to also upgrade one of my mortars. So I need 400,000 gold for my mortar, and I need, let's say it's this mine, I need 56,000. So 456,000. Well, I have 1.477 million, and by the time tonight rolls around, I should have more. So what I end up doing is, as soon as a builder comes available, I'll go and upgrade these last 2 walls, and then I'll start upgrading the walls that are in around my town hall until I have approximately 560,000 gold left, and then I'll spend the rest on upgrading. And then I don't need, these guys aren't going to be finished with the army camps or the mortar or the mine for a few days, so I have a number of days to regenerate or rebuild my gold, both from my mining as well as my raiding, so that, okay, next time building comes up, well, I'm going to have access again, so then I could upgrade a bunch of walls, and then until I only have enough to complete the next upgrade, and then I set the upgrade in progress, and I just keep doing that. And I have scheduled out all my upgrades for Town Hall level 6 all the way to finalizing the upgrade of my Town Hall level 7, and it looks like that's going to happen. I did it all in a spreadsheet to try and come up with the optimal build schedule so that everything comes available. All my builders, my 5 builders, come available at the same time once I'm at Town Hall 7. And I got it nailed down to about July 29th. The morning or afternoon of July 29th, I'll have everything done and all my builders working on new builds. And I will have everything upgraded for Town Hall level 6, including all my mines and my elixir collectors. So I'm going to show you exactly, well, how are you getting all these resources? How are you getting, how are you getting all this gold to upgrade your walls? And some of my clanmates were saying, well, what the hell? It took me like a year to get level 6 walls. Yes, I have the advantage of 5 builders. Yes, I did purchase gems for the purpose of getting all 5 of my builders, but that's about it. Then, I'm selective with my battles. I mean, I could spend, I've spent upwards of 20,000 plus gold just going from base to base, trying to find one that is a good target. And actually, that's a defense log. Sorry. Yeah, I got attacked pretty good by a couple of people. The Solos guy, I'll just go over this quickly. The Solos guy, I mean, he used a lot against me, and I only lost 5 trophies, so that wasn't bad. He didn't 100% me. The second guy here didn't 100% me either. He was actually much more effective at attacking, but he still didn't 100% me, and I did lose 23 trophies. Unfortunately, I think he's a pretty low trophy level in order for me to lose 23 and for him to be so effective. But I usually only lose to higher level players. My attack log, so this is a good example here. And don't look at the second one because that was just brutal. That was my bad. Okay, so we're going to look at this one, right? And like I said, I search around for these opportunities. And this looked like a good opportunity. I look for bases that have a lot of available gold to loot. So I send in my giants to attack. I'll go double speed first and get the attention of the mortar. And then I have my archers at the top left. So I basically divert attention, and then I'm bringing in my wall breakers to break through to that inner wall because I want to get rid of those mortars. I want my giants to get rid of the mortars, and then I'm sending in my goblins, obviously, to take everything else out. And I have the lightning spell as well, which is pretty useful. I've been using the spells a lot, the lightning spell, and I have the healing spell as well. And then my giants are going to town, and the goblins. The timing that I sent the goblins in was really good. Number one, we've already broken into the base. Number two, all the defenses are on the giants, and I have my archers that came in as well. So all their defenses were on my other attacking units, and my goblins were allowed to come in and clear out the base. I really like sending them in as many at a time as I did there because they move so quickly. And you see, half the time enemy mortars don't even hit them because they're already destroying a building and moving on to the next one. The mortar's firing, but they're already moving. So I love goblins. Plus they get me lots of gold. So I only have the goblins left, and I have the one archer, so I'm going to get his town hall. And I'm not going to 100% this guy. He does have one set of defenses left, and I didn't have any clan units. If I had clan units, I probably could have easily 100%ed this, but I didn't have any at the time. But that's okay, and that's it. So his archer tower ends up taking my guys out, and that's it. So that's how I go into these bases, and I'll sit there for 10 minutes. base after base after base, looking for an optimal base to attack. And it's based on the units that I have. You know, if I have set up units where I have maybe wizards or balloons, then I'd look for a different type of base to attack. You know, you look at certain characteristics, and maybe I'll get into that in a few future videos. But one thing I'm going to move over to now is just showing you a simple thing. It's going to be on the PC, on a website, and I'm just going to show you one design consideration when designing a base. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the site that I use to put together my bases. Now, it's called clashofclansbuilder.com. And there are some prefab bases, and there are rating systems, etc. So you can look at highest rated bases. I think the highest rated is like some nude woman on base level 9. So you select my base level. I've already done it. It's usually in the top right-hand corner. But I just want to show you a simple concept here. And I'm going to take 4 of these cannons, okay? And I'm going to arrange them basically in a square shape, all right? And then we're going to take our walls, and let's say we wall it off. All right. Bear with me. I know. So the thing that I don't like about doing something like this, all right, and I'll show you once I finish. I need to be a little quicker with the mouse, right? Okay. So let's say an attacking player, and again, this is a design concept that can be carried throughout your base. You can make adjustments to improve upon this, but sometimes you just don't have enough walls in order to do it. But it's just something to keep in mind. It's a little something that will make it more difficult for your base to be breached and 100%ed. So let's say somebody comes in here and they use a wall breaker or whatever, and they attack this cannon. Okay, well, all they have to do now, all the enemy forces have to do now, and we're assuming these are ground units, yes, is take out that wall. Once they take out that wall, they then have access to that cannon, and that cannon with absolutely zero obstructions. Okay, so that's sort of like the square design, the square corner design, which isn't great. I mean, isn't great from a ground unit perspective. Okay, so let's make a couple of small minor modifications and see how that improves our base design and how that helps us defend against attack. So let's move this one cannon just one block to the right, and we're going to close it back up, and we're going to take this wall and we're going to move it over here. So we've effectively removed a single wall access to these 4 cells. So if somebody comes in here, yes, they can still attack these other 2 cannons just by taking out that corner wall, but they no longer have access to all 4 cannons. And same goes for here. If they take out this, removing this wall right here gains access to 2 more, but they still have to break through another wall to gain access to our 4th cannon. Now, if we make a further modification and move this cannon 1 block to the left, all right, so we really haven't done anything as far as preventing access. But what if we did this? What if we added a wall right here? That's an additional wall. So now, if somebody broke into here, they have to go through 2 more walls in order to gain access to the rest of my cannons, right? So if they can go through here, they can gain access to that cannon, then they can take the corner one out and gain, or they can't even take the corner one out. They take this corner one out, they gain access to the other 2, right? Makes sense? But we can also do one more thing to make it even more difficult. Let's put that wall back. If we add a wall right there, okay? Now this design, the enemy forces absolutely have to go through 4 separate individual walls in order to take out my 4 cannons, all right? They come in here, there's no single wall that they can take out to gain access to more than 1 cannon that remains. So they take this one out, you know, they can go here, that'll get them access to that one, or down here, that'll get them access to that one. But there is, like I said, no single wall that they can take out to gain access to all of them. So they have to go through 4 walls. That's going to slow down the defenses. I mean, you know, yeah, sure, they can come in here, they can use wall breakers to break in here, they can use wall breakers to break in here, or they just attack and break through the wall. They still have to break through 2 more walls. So instead of breaking through, you know, presumably, they're going to send a wall breaker in to break through the first wall. Let's just make that assumption. So it's going to be a pretty quick breach of the first wall, but then typically it's pretty hard to get wall breakers to attack specific walls, especially once you get into in the interior of a base. So for them to use additional wall breakers is, the risk of that is going to be reduced beyond the first wall. So it's going to take them a lot of time. In the prior design, with one wall breaker and then having your forces take out that corner wall and gaining access, it's very, very quick. Whereas here, even with wall breakers, yes, you're gaining access to that first cannon very, very quickly, but getting to the other 4 is going to be extremely time-consuming. It's way more. It's probably about 3. It's going to take them 3 times the amount of time to take out these 4 cannons than it were to take them out if they were just in that square configuration. So that's just something I wanted to go over with you guys, and I think it's a pretty good design change, provided you have the walls available, and this also allows you to make room for traps, etc., to be placed in here. But anytime you can offset your walls, even with just this design, at least you've offset it so that they can't gain access to all 4 of your defensive units by breaking through a single wall. They can only, you can only gain access to 3 at a time with this design. But then putting these additional walls right there, yeah, it's gonna really put a dent in how far they can get into your base when you're on defense. What do you guys think? Just something I wanted to bring to the table, and I'll look at other opportunities at bringing tips like this to you guys. It's just something that I've been looking at and considering, especially when I was on attack one time. I just saw that happen. I'm like, yeah, there's got to be a better way to defend against that, and this is sort of what I came up with. So that's it for today. We will see you tomorrow. Spider out.